Jets. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific on ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Our coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. Chargers tight end Hunter Henry has once again been bitten by the injury bug. He suffered a tibial plateau fracture, translated a broken knee during Sunday's game against the Colts. The Chargers expect Henry will miss 4 to 6 weeks. And just the latest offensive weapon the Chargers have lost, wideout Mike Williams, also week to week with a knee injury. And Melvin Gordon, who you heard from JoJo, continues his holdout. There's no sign right now of exactly when that will end, although Austin Eckler did pick up the slack in week 1. And with that, I'm joined by our ESPN fantasy analyst. You know him well, Matthew Berry.
Hey, Wendy.
Hello. Listen, a crushing blow, not just for the Chargers, of course, but if you happen to be
It was a top 5 draft pick
Hunter
at the position.
Henry's fantasy team folks out there. I know my friend Lori is one of them. She's already upset.
Sorry,
I play her this week. I don't mind.
Perfect.
Anyway, tell us what to do.
Well, listen, you go to the waiver wire, obviously. If you heard us talking to the preseason, Darren Waller is not a surprise to you, but Waller the Baller still not 100% rostered in fantasy leagues. You saw it on Monday night, just what this guy can do. He played 100% of the snaps. He had a 30% target share. He is big. He is fast. He's one of the reasons why the Raiders were comfortable letting Jared Cook go. He's still available in about 40% of leagues. This is going to be a top 10 tight end the rest of the way. He needs to be rostered in 100% of leagues, as does Mark Andrews, who's available in about 40% of ESPN leagues. A trendy pickup this week, but still not 100% rostered. Since Lamar Jackson became the starter in Baltimore, Andrews has the 5th most receiving yards among all tight ends, and as much a piece of that Ravens offense as you can. And how about Jack Doyle as well? A connection with Jacoby Brissett back in 2017. He outsnapped Eric Ebron last Sunday.
Who would have thunk that? All right, listen, you'll be with us every Thursday. You'll give us a little love-hate, which is always fun. We always start with positive, glass half full.
Right.
So how about a running back?
And these are people whose projections I love or hate. It's not the players
that's
itself.
Right. We always have to make that
It's not
distinction.
the players itself. It's just I either love or hate their matchups.
Okay, running back you love, though, in week 2.
How about Sony Michel of the New England Patriots? Look, I know it was brutal last week. I totally get it. But you think about this Miami Dolphins defense. They gave up 265 rushing yards last week. The Patriots, a massive favorite here. Sony Michel, it didn't work out for him on Sunday night, but he still got a lot of work. 15 rushes, more than Rex Burkhead or James White combined on the ground. Remember, the Patriots 5th in rush percentage last year. So Sony Michel, I have as a top 20 play this week. How about Brandon Cooks? Again, another guy that disappointed last week, but I think he bounces back. I have him as a top 10 play this week. Look, he's at home, where last year he was the 3rd best wide receiver in fantasy in terms of total points. Since the beginning of last year, by the way, the Saints are the worst defense in terms of deep completions allowed and deep completion percentage against. I think Jared Goff takes a couple of shots to the former Saint on Sunday. And how about Matt Ryan? Yes, I'm going on guys that all disappointed in week 1, but I'm back in on them here in week 2. I have him as a top 5 quarterback in what should be a shootout against the Eagles on Sunday. 5 straight multi-touchdown passing games at home since 2017. In fact, 5 of his top 7 games in fantasy have come at home. We know this. Look, Case Keenum threw for almost 400 yards against this Eagles secondary last week.
Yes,
so
he did.
I think Matt Ryan back at home gets on track. Big days coming for him, Julio, Calvin Ridley, the whole Falcons offense.
They needed to come together. We didn't see it week 1. All right, look, I thought of something. We could say these guys you love less, or like you love them a lot less.
Right. Not as fond of.
You're not as fond of this group. So
yes,
take us through it.
I am
like
concerns.
It. A little softer.
I am cautiously pessimistic on these players, Wendy, for just this 1 week here. And we start at the running back position where it's Aaron Jones. Look, you guys know me, right? Free Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be the week. Going up against that Vikings defense, they just haven't seemed to get him free. Since the beginning of last year, Vikings allow the 3rd fewest yards per carry after first contact. And unfortunately, they keep using enough of Jamal Williams here. This is a running back opportunity in what should be a low-scoring game. Jones outside my top 20. Courtland Sutton, look, he looked great on Monday night. I'm less optimistic about his chances this week against Chicago. Let's see. Since the beginning of last year, Bears, top 4 in terms of yards per deep pass attempt, deep completion percentage, and deep touchdown interception rate. In short, Wendy, that's a lot of numbers to let you know. They defend the deep ball really, really well. Courtland Sutton clearly on their radar. He's outside my top 35. And I hate to do this because Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite players in the NFL, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, but I think he struggles against the Vikings. He's had under 20 fantasy points in 8 of his last 9 against Minnesota. No more than 1 touchdown pass in 4 of his past 5 healthy matchups against Mike Zimmer's defense. And that offense that looked like a run-heavy offense, it looked a little out of sync against Chicago.
Early going, they're going to have to find their way.
But A-Rod's going to be fine. He's great, but I do have him outside my top 10 for the week.
For week 2, and that's the distinction here, week 2. Listen, the Fantasy Show on ESPN Plus for Fantasy Football Now on Sunday mornings, and we'll see you, if not before, then back here Thursday.
Sounds great. Thanks, Wendy.
All right, week 2 underway tonight. Coming up, you ever play quarterback bingo with us?
In the end zone, touchdown!
Throws to the end zone, touchdown, Seahawks!
Lamar Jackson, he'll tuck and keep it, breaks a tackle, he's to the 5, lunges for the pylon, touchdown! Good work with the legs, big moment, big play, touchdown Deshaun Watson.
Oh, we are moving up in the world. We got our own little graphics.
I'm saying.
And by the way, if you've ever seen us do this, we had some kind of rickety sort of, I don't know what it was.
That looks awesome.
We have gone high end.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, and as Rob told me,
looks good.
backwards to mix, forward
like
to pick. Right?
Forward to mix,
What's
backwards.
that?
Forward.
No blood
blood.
this year?
Remember Teddy Bruschi got an injury,
got
filed
cut.
a workers' comp
that what
case. It was a
happened?
whole
Forward
whole
to mix.
thing.
I'm kind of nervous.
No, wait.
Let's
We've
see
gone
how
from-
we get.
We've gone from 10 to
Okay,
spray
now
ball.
so what do you got? Buffalo.
The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo
Josh
Bills.
Allen.
Ooh.
I mean, look, the game, the guardrails for success in the NFL today for a quarterback is getting wider. It is getting easier. And so Josh Allen, I mean, I think I saw him, I played golf with him in the offseason. He seems like a guy that the Buffalo thing is fine. Living out there, doing it, being cold, like it's all fine with him. And that's part of the problem with a lot of people. It's like, I don't really like to be here. I'll put up with it. He likes it. The fans have kind of gotten in. He's got some work to do there, but I think I like him as a player. He's got to settle in and play quarterback. He likes to run around. I like that too. But I think like a lot of these young players have got to establish themselves as being able to deliver the ball from the pocket. Early returns is I like Josh Allen, and I think that I have no problem kind of thinking of him as a franchise quarterback. If that's the question, I don't know, Rob. I mean, Victor. I mean, that's my big issue with him is he the franchise guy? I feel like the early returns are yes, he can be that guy.
You know what? That was the question. That
has
was
to take
definitely
another
the
step.
question.
And
He's
he
got to
better
take
say
another
yeah.
step.
Since he just played golf.
I agree.
He has all the tools. He just has to take another step.
And I
forward.
think the biggest thing, the best part is that he's embracing the Buffalo
Yeah, I like
culture.
it. I like
And that's
it.
the
I agree
biggest
with
thing.
Steve. I think rather than just living with it or
Exactly.
dealing with it. We're going to let you try
Okay,
this.
I'm a little
It's not
nervous
that
right now. I
hard.
want to see what I get here. I think.
Put your deltoid
Let's
into
see.
it.
Let's see.
and
Oh,
make
you
a
want to
bit.
really?
Come
I
on
don't want
now.
to hurt this thing. I don't want to break it. But let's see.
Oh,
Oh boy, I think I got a good one. How about the Saints? My guy, Drew Brees.
What, is
Big
this the
game
year
this
for
week.
another
Boiler up,
championship?
boiler up.
Is this
No.
it? Steve, Drew Brees win another one?
Well, I mean, the way Tom Brady when he said to me, Steve, the game's gotten so much easier because you can't patrol the middle of the field defensively. Corners can't use their hands, and I can't get hit. And so a guy like Drew Brees, a guy like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, the masters, they can extend this. They've proven it. Now I'm 40 years old, and I say to myself, there's no way. This is the last year. Do not believe that at 41 he can make a Super Bowl run. I don't know if that's not the case. Now, is it 43, 44? Where are these guys going to stretch it to? I don't know. I do notice that Drew, as he runs and tries to throw the football, I don't feel like the line is quite as horizontal. Like it's a little more.
It's got a little more. He's got
It is a little
Sure.
more
Taking
loopy,
Drew
but he can continue to play that way. There are throws that he's not going to be able to make. Will that be a big difference? And the bigger question, the fun question to me is who will replace him? Is it possible that Taysom Hill, that Sean Payton's thinking about, you know what, Taysom Hill is my replacement? This super interesting conversation for you guys. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you know what? We'll come back. We're not going to go Drew Brees replacement yet, Steve. Not yet.
Boilermaker,
Oh, but-
Purdue
well,
Boilermaker.
maybe we will.
There we go.
Former teammate.
Okay.
I was with him in
We'll give Rob
2006.
That's right, for
I would
years,
say,
right?
what is the real question here? How many times will Drew Brees lick his fingers in this next game? If you ever notice
No,
Drew
he
Brees,
does it a
Bet right
ton.
there,
He
waiting
does
to
it
happen.
all he does is lick his finger, and then he does this with his shoulder all the time. Like
Look
he's,
at you.
We got the whole
Yeah.
Frank
Frank
Caliendo
he's like
Ninkovich
this,
over here.
he's real fidgety.
Don't
He's real
forget
fidgety.
about Teddy Bridgewater, too. I mean,
Exactly, he's there
Not
too.
So,
just Taysom Hill.
you going to let
Am I
ladies
up?
first, or
All
you
right,
going to, no? Victor's just
Whoa,
going to
he's
take,
going
whoa,
there.
okay then. Wow, all right.
Wow.
Strength sometimes,
Goodness.
all right?
Please, God.
Oh, my
Spare
favorite
us.
guy.
Is Tom Brady?
We're going with the Baltimore.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't see it. I thought it looked like a Patriot.
Lamar
I was
Jackson
more
is
like-
I
saying.
want to engage everybody, Josina too. To me, he has to prove he can deliver the ball from the pocket. We're going to watch it every week. But is it possible, in you guys' mind, I think it is, that you can now for the first time run around, be a playmaker, not just a guy in the pocket delivering the ball for championship football? Can you win championship football games by being a playmaker, a la, any of us that were dual threats just running around? Is it open season now? What do you guys think?
Well, I think so. I think in this game, in this league that they're playing in today, you have to have a mobile quarterback to be successful. You have to have a guy that can extend the play.
My point is, does he have to be, and to me, to be a championship quarterback through the history, and even today in my mind, you have to be able to deliver the ball from the pocket. I understand these guys got to get better.
Which we saw him do.
I agree with that. I agree.
I agree as well, but you have to have both.
If you can get away from the DNs and the pass rushers
and still throw the ball down the field.
It makes a completely different dynamic. Steve,
Exactly.
you can get away from that DN and still throw the ball down the field. It extends the play. Those quarterbacks that can extend plays, they're a nightmare for a defensive end.
That's Steve Young's tribe. Don't forget, Steve.
Yeah.
We want to be in your tribe, too, if that's okay. We're just requesting.
Yeah, you're my tribe.
Okay,
Is there
good.
space for us?
Hey,
I'm happy.
I like that. I feel like I invited myself, but that's okay. JoJo, I'm sorry. We don't have time.
Oh,
We're going to have to come back next week.
Oh, wow.
Next
Really?
week?
I'm just going to exit.
Yeah, sorry,
stay
JoJo.
right. Don't need
Listen,
me.
Sam
Don't love me.
Darnold-
No one cares about me. It's okay.
Unfortunately, he will not play in week 2. He is sidelined with mono, so we'll hear from his replacement, Trevor